Welcome. Today we are looking at C.R.E. Paper 1, Part 1, Revision 21. Question 1a. Give reasons why Christians read the Bible. Question 1b. With reference to the Genesis stories of creation in chapter 1 and 2, outline the attributes of God. Question 1c. What are the consequences of breaking taboos in traditional African communities? Question 2a. Narrate Abraham's attempt to sacrifice his son as found in Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 to 19. Question 2b. State the importance of circumcision to Abraham and his descendants. 2c. Give 6 ways through which Christians portray themselves in the society today. Question 3a. How did Prophet Samuel promote the worship of Yahweh in Israel? 3b. Explain 6 effects of idolatry in Israel during the time of Prophet Elijah. Question 3c. What lessons can Christians learn about social justice from the story of Naboth's vineyard? Question 4a. Outline 7 characteristics of true prophets in the Old Testament. Question 4b. State 7 ways in which the rich oppressed the poor during the time of Prophet Amos. Question 4c. Give reasons why Christians find it difficult to help the needy in the society today. 6 marks. Question 5a. Outline 7 problems Nehemiah encountered in rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. Question 5b. Identify the symbolic acts used by Prophet Jeremiah to demonstrate God's judgment and punishment to the Israelites. Question 5c. What lessons do Christians learn from Prophet Jeremiah's teachings on the new covenant? Question 6a. Name 6 places where sacrifices are carried out in traditional African communities. 6b. Give the reasons why sacrifices are made in traditional African communities. 7 marks. 6c. State 7 roles of ancestors in traditional African communities. The marking scheme. Question 1a. Reasons why Christians read the Bible. It provides Christians with moral values. It is a source of spiritual guidance. It is used in Christian worship. It gives them inspiration. It helps them to understand their relationship with God. It is a source of Christian beliefs. It reveals God to them. It is a source of knowledge. It is the Word of God. Question 1b. With reference to the Genesis stories of creation in chapter 1 and 2, outline the attributes of God. God is all-powerful. God is orderly. God is everywhere. God is the provider. God is the creator. God is all-knowing. God commands God commands obedience. God is loving. God is everlasting. God is a spirit. God is a source of goodness, and God is holy. Question 1c. What are the consequences of breaking taboos in traditional African communities? Paying of a fine, excommunication, punishment, being killed, undergoing rituals, making sacrifices to appease the ancestors, offering confession, being cursed, denial of privileges. Question 2a. Narrate Abraham's attempt to sacrifice his son Isaac as found in Genesis chapter 22 verse 1 to 19. God told Abraham to take his son to the land of Moriah and offer him as a sacrifice. Abraham took his son, 2 servants, and wood for burnt offering. They arrived at the place after a 3 days journey. Abraham commanded his servants to remain behind as he and Isaac went up to worship. He took Isaac, the firewood, and the knife and went up. Isaac asked his father where the lamb for the offering would come from. Abraham told Isaac that God would provide the lamb for the burnt offering. When they arrived at the place God had commanded, Abraham built an altar. He bound Isaac, laid him on the altar upon the wood, and then Abraham took the knife to slay his son, but the angel of the Lord stopped him. Abraham saw a ram which he offered instead of his son. He called the name of the place, "The Lord will provide." The angel appeared to Abraham a second time and gave him promises because of his obedience. Abraham returned with his men to Beersheba. Question 2b. The importance of circumcision to Abraham and his descendants. It was an outward sign of the covenant. It was a sign of inner faith in God. It was a sign of membership in the Jewish community. It was a sign of obedience to God's command. It was an assurance of God's continuous protection to Abraham and his descendants. It was a sign that they were God's chosen people. It was a sign of identity for the Jewish people. And number 8, it was a symbol of unity among Jews. Question 2c. Give 6 ways through which Christians portray themselves in the society today. Christians wear specific designs of clothes. They abstain from eating some kinds of food. By wearing a rosary, they have special ways of greetings. Through making personal testimonials, by owning specific Bible versions, through speaking in tongues, use of specific church designs, use of different names, through ways in which they worship, by residing in secluded homes. Question 3a. How did Prophet Samuel promote the worship of Yahweh in Israel? He prayed for the people. He mediated between God and the Israelites. He performed priestly duties. He condemned King Saul for disobeying God. He warned the elders of Israel against demanding for a political king. He commanded King Saul for disobeying God. He warned the elders of Israel against demanding for a political king. He anointed kings over Israel. He obeyed God's command. Question 3b. Explain 6 effects of idolatry in Israel during the time of Prophet Elijah. Persecution towards God's people. Baal prophets and prophetesses were brought to Israel. There was corruption. That is, people reject the covenant way of worship. Israelites practiced syncretism. Drought in Israel for 3.5 years. Israel lost her identity as a nation of God's people. Contest at Mount Carmel took place to prove the power of Yahweh. Question 3c. What lessons can Christians learn about social justice from the story of Naboth's vineyard? Christians should not use their position in leadership to acquire wealth falsely. Christians should protect the poor against corrupt leaders. They should safeguard property received through inheritance. They should not be misled by their friends. Christians should execute justice. They should condemn all forms of injustice in the society. Christians should champion for the rights of the weak in the society. And there is punishment for those who exploit the poor. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what video I can look at tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.